Alright, let's see what the boys are getting into today. How do you even work this contraption?
Hey, Papa!
Yeah, sweetie?
Want some eggs?
Yeah, I'll take some eggs. I appreciate you, sweetheart. Nothing like some eggs to get you started in the morning.
Hey, Papa!
Yo!
Want some hot sauce?
Yeah, give me some of that hot sauce. Oh, look at that TCU hot sauce. Must be a little spicy, but it ain't too spicy for the old pop-pops. You know what they say? Oh, yes, right there on the old eggs. All right, let's go ahead and dig in real quick. Get our little breakfast going. With some TCU hot sauce. Yes, sirree. Oh, my dentures! My dentures are burning! Oh, God, give me the milk! No! Oh, yes! Perfect! Oh, perfect! Oh, God! Oh, it burns so much! Oh, gosh! Nothing like some good old Charlotte 49ers milk to wash down that TCU burn.
You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ, the Tar Heel. And in this huddle, baby, we're going to preview the Carolina and Charlotte game, as well as have some fun predicting the score. Now, the Heels and the 49ers are both coming off of embarrassing losses against their own prospective opponents, and they will be looking to bounce back against one another this Saturday, 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus at Jerry Richardson Stadium out in Charlotte. But before we jump into the details of this football game, shout out to the Huddle Hooligans, man, for all of their love and support. It was great to see my boy Hutch and Preston last Monday, despite the atrocious outcome of that football game. Now, prayers up also to our buddy Dennis, man, who unfortunately was unable to make it out to the game due to a family emergency. We are 100% praying for you, brother, and looking forward to seeing you on the next one for sure. If you are a hooligan already and not in the Discord, I need you to do me a favor, man. Send a message to the channel's email, thetarheelhuddle@gmail.com, so that I can send you a link to the Discord and you can get plugged in, man. Shout out to our newest member, Jim Kimry Jr., and welcome back once again to Robert Summers, man. It's good to have you back, brother. It's only a few bucks a month. Great way to support the channel, man. Buy me a coffee while I do all the editing and all the intricate, things that go on with running this channel, and it is so much appreciated, man. It's greatly appreciated. All of you guys love and support, man. So find that join button today and do me a favor and support the channel. Now, the night before call-in show will be this Thursday, September 4th at 8:30 p.m. Call into the show. Give me your thoughts on the football game. And if you predict the correct score, I will send you $125 cash now, because we did not have a winner last week. Carolina fans, Charlotte fans, college football fans are welcome. You do not have to be a Tar Heel or a 49er to call into the show and get your opportunity to win the $125, man. The more participation we have, the more fun that we have also. And you already know, man, my favorite event of the channel, our first live reaction and watch party of the 2025 season, Saturday starting at 6:45 p.m. as we watch the Heels try to get their first win of the Bill Belichick era. So come hang out with your favorite North Carolinian, and we will enjoy the game together as a family/fan base. One of my favorite parts of the show, man, is just hanging out and talking to the boys on game day. So now that we have all this admin stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this thing, and we'll start off by first looking at the ACC standings. BC, Cal, Duke, number 14 FSU, Georgia Tech, Louisville, number 5 Miami, NC State, Pitt, number 17 SMU, Virginia, and Wake are all 1-0, while number 8 Clemson, Carolina, Stanford, Syracuse, and Virginia Tech dropped their openers bringing them to 0-1. There were no conference games played in week 1, so there are no updates, if you will, to the conference standings as far as, crowning a champion. Now, slate of football games going into week 2. This week we've got JMU traveling to Louisville. Should be a very interesting football game on Friday night. Number 11 Illinois comes to Duke. Another really interesting football game. East Texas A&M will head to Florida State. Baylor at SMU. UVA at NC State. Our lone conference game of week 2. Our first conference game period in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And that should actually be a very interesting football game to watch between those two teams. UVA played very well against Coastal Carolina. Central Michigan at Pitt. UConn at Syracuse. Western Carolina at Wake Forest. Troy at Clemson. Gardner-Webb at Georgia Tech. Texas Southern at Cal. Bethune-Cookman at Miami. Our game, UNC at Charlotte. Vanderbilt at Virginia Tech, which could be a very dangerous game for the Hokies. Boston College at Michigan State, which could be a good football game. And Stanford at BYU. So, good slate of football this week. And we should have plenty to watch and plenty to talk about at the end of week 2, man. So let's go ahead and get into the game that most of us that are here are interested in, and that's Carolina and Charlotte. Now, the Charlotte Observer reports that the university has added, that Charlotte University, 2,500 temporary bleachers, which will bring the stadium's capacity to a staggering 17,800. I know. Mind blowing. And the cheapest ticket on Vivid Seats, according to the same source, was $133 per ticket. Another expensive ticket, obviously more than likely, not only to the condensed capacity or availability, if you will, but Bill Belichick is the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. Now, this will be the second all-time meeting between UNC and the Charlotte 49ers, with the lone meeting coming last year in Chapel Hill as the Heels won 38-20. At the time, UNC quarterback Connor Harrell, who ironically enough is now the starting quarterback for the Charlotte 49ers, went 16-25 for 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He also had 56 yards on the ground and a touchdown on 9 carries. Davion Gauss outrushed O'Marion Hampton in this one. He rushed for 109 yards and a touchdown on 16 carries for 6.6 yards per carry, which is a really good football game for him. But interestingly enough, it seemed like he was RB2 or RB3 Monday night against TCU. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how that plays out against the Niners. Now, Carolina only allowed Charlotte to rush for 49 yards last year, but they did give up 309 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air from Max Johnson and Deshaun Purdy, who is now at Wake Forest. Now, the Charlotte 49ers are led by head coach Tim Albin, who was in his first season at the school, and he now has a 0-1 record after that opening 34-11 loss to App State inside Bank of America Stadium. Now, their leading passer is the aforementioned 6'2", 210-pound junior quarterback Connor Harrell, who through one game in 2025 is 13-24 for 142 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception, and he has a QBR of 21.5. He also rushed 6 times for 22 yards, which is good for a 3.7 yard average. Now, interestingly enough, Connor was under pressure on 50% of his dropbacks, and under those dropbacks that he was pressured, he only completed 3 of 11 passing, and one of those resulted in his lone interception. There were some thoughts that maybe Alvin would replace Harrell with 6'3", 215-pound sophomore quarterback Grayson Loftus, who actually went crazy as a freshman in Chapel Hill for the Duke Blue Devils in Drake May's last home game 2 years ago. But Alvin confirmed to the Charlotte Observer that he would be sticking with Harrell to play against his former team, at least for now. But I would not be surprised if Grayson Loftus got a little bit of burn in this game. Now, their leading rusher is 5'10", 200-pound junior running back C.J. Stokes, who had 49 yards on 15 carries for a 3.3 yard per carry average. And their leading receiver is a 6'3", 210-pound former Tar Heel wide receiver Justin Olson, who has 2 catches for 56 yards. And just for good measure, I thought it'd be worth noting to throw in there 6'1", 205-pound senior wide receiver E.J. Mason also had 2 catches for 29 yards and a touchdown. Now, the Tar Heels are led by head coach Bill Belichick, who is now 0-1 as a college football coach after that embarrassing loss at home to TCU. Carolina's leading passer, despite not starting the game last Monday, is 6'5", 225-pound senior quarterback Max Johnson, who was 9 for 11 for 103 yards and a touchdown. Looked really crisp, got the ball where it needed to go, and it was great to see Max out there, man, considering what he went through in week 1 up there in Minnesota, man. Almost a career-ending injury, and to see him out there playing well was truly remarkable. It really was, man. Redshirt sophomore quarterback Gio Lopez was only 4 for 10 for 69 yards and an interception that was brought back for a touchdown, as well as a fumble that was a scoop and score for that TCU defense. So, got to clean up on that, man. Can't be responsible for 14 points and expect to be QB1 for long, man. He was also attributed negative 10 yards on 7 carries, so it was not quite the debut that we had hoped for Gio Lopez. Now, the Heels' leading rusher is senior running back Caleb Hood. He started off really hot, but he only finished with 31 yards on 10 carries and a touchdown. And the leading receiver for the Heels was sophomore wide receiver Jordan Shipp, who finished with 4 catches for 89 yards. So, now that we've taken a look at the individual statistics of this game, let's have a look at the team statistics, and go ahead and grab your barf bags, because this one is not going to be pretty. North Carolina, after one game, is only averaging 222 yards of total offense, which is good for 125th in the country. Keep in mind, I think there are only 134 FBS teams. They're also giving up 542 yards per game, which is good for 132nd in the country. I mean, goodness gracious. Yikes. The 14 points per game that they average after week 1. 105th in the country. And the 48 points per game that they gave up ranks them also at 132nd nationally. Not pretty. Not pretty in the least. Now, Charlotte's not much better. Actually, they're worse. Charlotte is averaging 218 yards per game, which is good for 127th. And they're giving up 586, which is 133rd in the country. They only scored 11 points in that loss against App State. 115th in the country, and they gave up 34, which is good for 113th in the country. That makes this a game of 2 of the worst statistical teams on either side of the football in the entire nation going into week 2. Wow. Wow. Now, since we've got through that, let's go ahead and get into my keys for victory for both teams. And we'll start with the visiting Tar Heels. Key number 1, you got to keep Charlotte behind schedule, man. Charlotte only had 60 yards on 21 first down plays, which is only an average of 2.9 yards per first down attempt. That helped result in an average third down distance of 8.3 yards. If Carolina can keep the 49ers behind schedule, it will help them bring down that abysmal scoring average, because I'm not really impressed with what Charlotte has at the skill position. And, I think that if they can keep them the down and distance longer, it is going to greatly enhance their ability to get off the field. Key number 2, you got to be physical, bro. I know that sounds ridiculous. Okay, I'm asking college football kids to be physical, but all we heard about in the preseason was how this football team under this coaching staff was going to be tougher. They were going to be more physical. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely did not see that in the daggum opener, man. It looked very post-Butch Davis era Carolina football to me, if you will, man. Bring the daggum physicality, man, against what should be an inferior football team talent-wise. If we do not see the physicality, the toughness against Charlotte after your daggum manhood was taken by you, by TCU last week on national television, when in the hell are we going to see this mythical Carolina toughness we've been hearing about? Physicality and toughness are the main ingredients of changing this culture. I need to see people flying around to the football and being tough and physical. And key number 3, pressure Connor Harrell. Connor's a good kid, man. And he comes from a great family, and I wish that kid nothing but the best for the remainder of the year. Just not during this daggone football game. Despite my affinity for the Harrell family, this is about football and strictly that. You want to speed Connor Harrell up, man, okay? And that's gonna help him, it's not gonna help him. It's gonna make him make poor decisions with the football, okay? I'm not convinced that he processes the field very well, and bringing pressure only speeds the game up for him more. Disguise the blitz, bring the fire, and I almost guarantee you that you will have success against Connor Harrell. And now for the keys to success for Charlotte. Number 1, run off the tackle, man, okay? TCU had a ton of success running off tackle against North Carolina's front 7, and the safeties were not very good coming up in the box, all the time, if you will, and filling. 75-yarder untouched first play from scrimmage right out of the break for 6. Came right off of the right tackle's hip, dude. Crazy that he wasn't touched as he, was streaking down the daggum sideline. They had another 28-yarder to the left side later in the game that seemed to be the opposite. It's just the same play. They just flipped it. I'd run off tackle until Carolina could stop it. Albin said that Harrell's numbers weren't very great against App State due to a lack of a running game. Expect them to duplicate what TCU did on the ground to open up the pass. That's exactly what I'm doing until daggum Carolina can stop it, or they prove they can stop it. Number 2, quick passes, man. Now, for whatever reason, Steve Belichick decided to play super soft with Marcus Allen inside. And Marcus was unfortunately torched on simple curls, hitches, and very short out routes to the sideline all night because of the depth that he was playing. Now, that is going to lock down his side. And there is nothing on Charlotte's roster that's going to stop that, okay? So you might as well not even throw to Thaddeus Dixon's side. I'm trying to make Marcus tackle in the open field. He had 4 missed tackles against TCU. And I'm trying to get the football to my receivers early and often when he's matched up on them, especially if he's going to play that daggone soft cushion, dude. Hoover got it out quick. It almost went for 300 yards. He would have, except for TCU's run game was also working extremely well. Now, key number 3, I'm telling my team if I'm 10 Albin, play free. Play free, bro. No one expects anything from them. All the pressure is on Bill Belichick and Carolina. So play free. If Carolina wins, no one will bat an eye. If they lose, Chapel Hill would be in chaos. I'm telling my team that they need to play free. And those are the keys to success for Carolina and Charlotte. So now that we've taken a look at my keys for victory, let's get into the prediction portion of the show. And we will start off with our favorite Yinzer, the walking college football encyclopedia himself, who unfortunately has an early lead, as you can see from the leaderboard. So let's get after it, man. What say you, Hutch?
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your boy Hutch with the Week 2 Fearless Prediction. I am 1-0 after last week's prediction of the TCU Horned Frogs defeating North Carolina. Russ is 0-1, so hopefully I can get to 2-0 here in Week 2 as your UNC Tar Heels take on the satellite campus of the University of North Carolina at Charlotte 49ers. Not a great showing for the Tar Heels last week against a very good TCU opponent, likely could be Big 12 champions or at least a contender. I was able to watch the game after I got off my flight to North Carolina at a restaurant. Watched the 49ers with a really not good showing against the App State 49 State Mountaineers, who have not been what they were even 4 to 5 years ago. So that being said, if you look over my shoulder, we got a painting here of Johnny Cash and an ostrich. I'll bring it all closer here, and you're gonna ask like, Hutch, what the hell does this have to do with anything? So there is Johnny Cash. There's the ostrich. So Johnny Cash represents the UNC Tar Heels, and the ostrich represents UNC Charlotte. And the rumor is that way back when Johnny Cash had he had a farm and he had these ostriches all over his farm. And one day he went out there and this big bull ostrich, he got too close to one of the females, and it actually ripped him open on his abdomen, which allegedly led to his re-addiction to painkillers. So But yeah, the Tar Heels are going to throat punch the 49ers. I got them 38-13. And again, probably isn't that close. I think they rebound. UNC Charlotte was just not a good team. Really poor offensive line play. Could not protect the quarterback. Quarterback play was not good. So there you go, man. I honestly think that this is going to be a UNC game. Tar Heels 38, 49ers 13. And hopefully your boy will get the 2-0 going into week 3 against Richmond.
Well, there you have it. Hutch says Carolina wins this one, giving Bill his first win, not only as a college football coach, but as a Tar Heel. I appreciate you, Hutch. Appreciate you, brother. Now, the sim between Carolina and Charlotte had Carolina win convincingly 54-7. And ironically enough, about 76% of the college football world responded by saying that Carolina will beat Charlotte on Saturday, which is a little bit down from the numbers that we had Carolina versus TCU, surprisingly enough. Goes to show you that there are some people who have fallen off of this bandwagon for sure. Now, the ESPN matchup indicator gives the Heels a 69.9% chance of beating Charlotte. And the current line at the time of this video is 13.5 points to Carolina. Now, this pick for me is actually a very interesting one, okay? On one hand, I believe that UNC is the more talented team, despite what we observed against TCU. And they should additionally be a better coach football team, as Bill finally has some game film under his belt for, the 2025 team in action. On the other hand, I know that Charlotte is going to be really excited for this game, but both coaches blamed self-inflicted wounds more than the other team for the outcomes of their Week 1 contests. Then there is the question of which UNC quarterback will play the majority of the snaps, if not the entire game. If Gio plays, does Carolina do some different install, allowing Gio to get out of the pocket to give more RPO looks? Is he healthy after an undisclosed injury to his back? Following the scoop and score against TCU, Max Johnson was very efficient in garbage time, but he looked more poised and direct with what he wanted to do with the football. Lots of variables in this game, at play that dictate the final score as far as I'm concerned, more than just them playing head up and trying to pick an outcome. It's what does our personnel look like? My personal opinion is that with Gio coming out of the game, give Max Johnson the start, Bryce Baker QB2, and Gio rests, as I'd imagine the original plan would be to expose Bryce to college football against a team like Charlotte in the first place. If Max looks anything like he did in a quarter and a half against TCU, then Carolina will be able to move the football down the field, and they'll be able to score some points. With Connor under center for the 49ers, Carolina should really be able to hold Charlotte to minimal offense, to be completely honest with you guys. I've still got some questions that need to be answered, so I think this one is a little bit closer than what we'd like as far as style points is concerned. I'm going to go Carolina 37, Charlotte 17. I think Carolina is the more talented team, which is not saying much at this point, to be completely honest with you. I'm just not a really big fan of what Charlotte has, like I said earlier, at the skill position. And I think it's very clear that the most important thing for Carolina right now is to find their identity. Who is QB1? Do they want to run the football and control the game in that NFL kind of, style offensive tempo? Who are our playmakers on offense, and how do we get them the football? How do we get more pressure on the quarterback without sacrificing on the back end, man? Is the TCU game a one-off for Marcus Allen? Or are we going to have to start designing concepts that help him, where we put a safety over his head to help him defend whoever he's covering? Will we be physical? Yes, I know it's game 2 and we want to win, but this type of game is more about Carolina finding out exactly who they are. They're too good for Charlotte, and Chapel Bill gets in the win column, and we can all simultaneously breathe a sigh of relief getting the first win out of the way. That's kind of how I see this game going. It's probably not going to be sexy. You would think Carolina at Charlotte, it should be a stinking ass whooping. After what I saw in week 1, they're going to have to show me. I just don't see that. So probably not going to be sexy, but Carolina gets the W. So you let me know what you think about this football game down in the comment section. Tar Heel Nation and college football family, is your boy onto something? Or am I sitting up in the nosebleeds having no idea what the hell I'm talking about, man? Don't forget, call-in show Thursday night at 8:30. Call in for a chance to win your $125 cash by predicting the score. Watch party Saturday night at 6:45. And y'all already know, man, it's a great day to be a Tar Heel. And we're going to make this thing happen, baby. It's going to be a good week. We're going to get that nasty taste out of our mouth. And we're going to get in the win column against Charlotte. So I love you, Tar Heel Nation. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe to the Daggum channel. And we'll see you Thursday night for the call-in show. Go Heels.